A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant escalation of trade tensions, U.S. President Donald Trump has signed an executive order imposing an additional 25% tariff on goods imported from India. This new measure, which brings the total tariff rate on Indian exports to the U.S. to a staggering 50%, is set to take effect in just 21 days. The move is primarily aimed at pressuring both India and Russia in light of the ongoing war in Ukraine. The executive order was signed on Wednesday and marks a pivotal moment in U.S.-India relations, which have been characterized by a complex interplay of cooperation and competition. The tariffs are intended to penalize India for its continued purchases of Russian oil, a decision that has drawn sharp criticism from the Indian government. Foreign Ministry spokesman Ranveer Jaiswal described the tariffs as unfortunate and stated that India would take necessary actions to protect its economic interests. This new tariff regime could have far-reaching implications for India's economy, which has been viewed as a potential alternative to China for American companies seeking to relocate their manufacturing bases. Analysts predict that the new tariffs could lead to a significant decline in Indian exports to the U.S., potentially cutting them by 40 to 50%. Ajay Srivastava, a former Indian trade official, expressed concerns about the hypocrisy of targeting India while China, which imports more Russian oil, remains unaffected by similar measures. The U.S. trade deficit with India, which stood at $45.8 billion in 2024, highlights the economic interdependence between the two nations. American consumers rely on a variety of Indian goods, including pharmaceuticals, textiles, and precious stones. Trump's decision to impose these tariffs comes at a time when the U.S. is attempting to strengthen its position in Asia, particularly in the face of China's growing influence. While the tariffs are intended to send a message to India about its energy imports, they also raise questions about the U.S.'s broader strategy in the region. The executive order comes as Trump prepares for negotiations with Russia in an effort to resolve the conflict in Ukraine. The White House has stated that Russia's actions pose a significant threat to U.S. national security and foreign policy, and India's oil imports are seen as undermining efforts to counteract Russia's aggression. Trump has previously criticized India's stance on the Ukraine conflict, suggesting that the Indian government is indifferent to the suffering caused by the war. As the tariffs approach their effective date, both India and Russia may seek to negotiate with the U.S. administration to mitigate the economic impact of these measures. The Indian government has maintained that its oil imports are driven by market factors and are essential for ensuring energy security for its population of 1.4 billion. The imposition of these tariffs could alter the landscape of U.S.-India trade relations, pushing India to reconsider its energy sourcing strategies and potentially seek alternative markets. Furthermore, the tariffs may complicate ongoing discussions about trade agreements and economic cooperation between the two nations. In a related development, Trump announced that Apple would be investing an additional $100 billion in U.S. manufacturing, bringing its total commitment to $600 billion over the next 4 years. This investment is part of the administration's broader push to encourage domestic manufacturing and reduce reliance on foreign supply chains. As the political and economic ramifications of these tariffs unfold, both the U.S. and India will need to navigate the complexities of their relationship in a rapidly changing global landscape. The coming weeks will be critical as both nations assess their options and respond to the evolving situation. The enforcement of these tariffs not only reflects the current administration's approach to trade, but also highlights the intricate balance of power in international relations, particularly in the context of the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.